welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm going to think out of the box this morning again. I want to try a ring pour and a ribbon pour. And I'll be using an 18 by 24 gallery canvas. And let me introduce you to my color palette. I'll be using Deconstruct satin enamel in garnet. I used it previously. Love the richness of this color. And I did mix it with some Flutrol and a little bit of GAC 800, just hoping not to get some or to avoid the crazing that sometimes occurs. I'm using a Ready Pour by Nick Pro, and this is a metallic turquoise. I find that the metallics actually give a sheen to the finished product, so I do not need to varnish them in the end. I do need to add a little bit of water Flutrol mixture to this. It's a little bit thick. It's been sitting for a little bit. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all well. Love the comments and feedback, so that is always greatly appreciated, and I thank you once again for joining me on my journey. Just giving it a stir, trying to get it stirred up really well to incorporate that Flutrol and water. I do use, and I think I've mentioned it previously, about 90% water and about 10% of the Flutrol in that. It just gives me a little bit more control rather than just using straight water to thin it out. Obviously, you can do your own thing. And this is a Nick Pro. Again, it's a metallic. It's gold, very rich looking. And this one is rather perfect consistency, so I do not need to do that. I'll be using a Nick Pro green. And this again is a Ready Pour. And I've also created my cloud mixture. I wanted to incorporate, hopefully have some clouds peek through this particular composition. And I'm using the satin enamel, which I combined with a pearlescent white. I love the luster of that. I'm hoping it works out here as well. I did add a little bit of Flutrol to thin it out to that consistency, and I put it in this reusable bottle so that I can better or have better control over that as well. So I wanted to do a layered pour here of all the colors that I've mentioned, but what I've also done is prepare a 3-section silicone cup, and in it I put all of the colors that I've mentioned, and I layered them with the cloud, the garnet, cloud again, some gold, cloud, the turquoise, cloud, a little bit of green, cloud, and then topped it off with a little bit of garnet. My intention is to go around the perimeter of that ring pour or of the ring pour with a ribbon pour, and I'm hoping it works out. Again, I have not done this before in this way, so once again, I'm hoping it does work out. So let me get busy with the layering. I'm going to anchor the paint so that it does not sink to the bottom on this. But I am going over each layer with that cloud mixture. And that is the process right now. right, so I've layered my cup. As you can see, there is a lot of cloud mixture in there. And again, it's just an experiment, hoping it works out. I layered the bottom with that cloud and then went in with the garnet cloud, gold, garnet, turquoise, garnet, green, uh, cloud, and so on. So it's a lot of beautiful colors in there. If it works out here, I'm not sure. Again, I thought I would experiment with that garnet using a slightly different color palette than I had before, where I did a trilogy. This time I added a turquoise in here, so I'm hoping it works out. Let's go. Torch out some bubbles. A lot more green than I thought, but it has some real pretty cloud effects that are beginning. And the longer this sits, the more those clouds will form. At least I'm hoping that's what will happen. Beautiful fingerlings going on here, but there's quite a bit of bubbles here. So let me torch this out. I want it to sit for a little bit in real time. I'm going to tilt just a little bit to try to get it more centered. I don't want to lose it, but I do want to tilt a little bit. I do not have a turntable or created a turntable that's large enough for this, so I'm hoping it works out. I'm just going to let it sit for a few seconds, and let's see what happens. I'm going to go in with my 3-section cup and begin this pour. And where to start? Let's see. Let's go here. sort of reminding me of Christmas and peppermint candy canes. Not really sure if I'm liking what's going on or how I poured that ring and the ribbon. I think maybe I should have just gone back and forth, but I'm hoping it works out. I do think I want to deconstruct this a little bit, so let's see what happens. Outer part where I ran the end of my paintbrush is real pretty. I know I'm going to lose that effect when I tilt, so I think I want to go in and do something else with this centerpiece. So let's get busy. I'm not really happy with the color composition, so it's a lesson in what not to do this morning. But let me tilt it and see what else can be done here. I'm not going to add any extra paint. I think there's enough on here. I want to go slowly. Figure out where the weight of that paint is. I'm going to turn it toward you a little bit. The turquoise is starting to peek through, and I'm loving how this stretched out, but there's so much paint here that I fear this is going to be lost. It might work out. Let's try it. Definitely a lot of garnet on here. I do need to tilt it some more. Let me see. I think I'm going to run some of that off. Trying to tilt it so that you can see it, but it's making it rather difficult for me to look at it. So let me just bring this in toward me some. Toward you so you can see. It's different. Love the cloud effects here. But I think adding that green wasn't so great, or at least I should have maybe used less. But I want to see if I can tilt it some more. Let's see what happens. I want to stretch it out and get some more of those clouds and fingerlings going. And if it's going to be green, then it's okay. But there's an awful lot of paint. So along that stretching, or with that stretching process, I will be losing a lot of paint. I'll grab that up later and repurpose it. Step back for a minute and see what we can do. I want to torch it a little bit. I really love the garnet and the white that's going on here, forming some very subtle clouds and fingerlings. But I think it's probably a little too busy for me. So it's not really working the way I thought it would. I want to try tilting it some more and see if I can expand what's going on here. Stay with me. It's expanding the lines real pretty here. But again, I'm not really sure if I want to like it, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. I would greatly appreciate your input, your feedback, your thoughts. I'm going to tilt some more. The sides are actually very pretty. Wish I could take those sides and bring them up, but I want to stretch it out some more and See if I can expand. Love this up here is so beautiful. But again, with all of that stark or the starkness of that garnet and white that in some spots is now mauve, here it's a little bit muddied. I can see some of that gold starting to peer through, but I'm not sure if during the drying process it's going to continue, or those colors are going to continue coming through. Let me step back. It's actually not really working for me. I am going to try to deconstruct and see if I'll use a fork as I did in a previous video and see if perhaps that will salvage this. As I said, I love what's going on here, but I'm not liking the overall composition at all. Trying to stretch it out some more just to see if some of those colors will begin to pop since I broke through it with that fork. And here it is, where they are. Love that that turquoise is now turned a richer blue, but I'm still unsure about that bottom part. Let me just step back for a minute. I'm actually going to wreck this. I had seen someone do this, and I'm going to do this with this piece and see what happens. So I'm going to spray with just water. Just wrecking it, making it really abstract at this point. We'll see if it works out. I'm gonna let this drain or just do its thing for now. Let's see what we can do. Love the effects here. I think I'm going to go in with some turquoise. Just experimenting, thinking out of the box. We'll see if it works out. Let's see, why not? I may have to repurpose this one. I'm gonna go in with some cloud. We'll see if it works out. Why not? I'm gonna go in with some more water. And just let it run down the canvas. And we'll adjust as we go. I love how the garnet is starting to peek through, but it's very subtle, and love the feathering that's going on up here. But I'm just soaking some of that excess water and let the acrylic do the rest. Takes a while, I think. Let me know what you think. I think I want to go in with a little bit more of the turquoise in the center. Something a little bit surreal, I suppose. Who's not into, or who doesn't like surrealism sometimes? I'm going to spray some more water and let it continue. This is so pretty up here. I'm not sure if it's too much white, but I think we can adjust it a little bit. I think the longer it just streams down, the more wispy effects and or of the garnet will start to peek through. This actually turned more of a minty green, maybe too much green. Do comment. I think I need to make it a little bit more cohesive. I didn't want to wreck this up here, but I may need to add a little bit more of this. It's a lot of white here. So I'm not going to add any more and see what happens. I'll drizzle some gold. And we'll spray it down. Tilt it some more, just to get rid of some of the white. Have some of that gold peer through. Just helping it along. I'm going to go with the top and add a little bit more color. Almost down to the bottom. I don't want to add any more paint. I don't think I'll be salvaging all that excess paint this morning because there's just so much water down on those pads that I fear that paint is or can't be used. Sometimes that's what you have to do. One of those times. Some of the canvas is starting to show through, but it's not really white because it has just a hint of the colors that are there or that were down on the canvas before. I'm going to add just a little bit of white here and there. Let me know what you think. Love those comments. Adding some more water. Get it to run a little bit more. Let's see. Again, just experimenting new techniques. Forward if you need to. Love that white. I'm going to leave it at an angle so that additional paint can drip down. I'll take you in for a close-up. Completely deconstructed. Let me know what you think. Be good to one another and yourselves.